Today I will show you how to install Zabbix on a Ubuntu system. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Alright, I am on a fresh Ubuntu. We have the terminal open and we have the zabbix.com/download on the right side. We are going to install Zabbix, and here on the right side we can see that first you will choose the platform. In this video I will go with the LTS version, which is the long time support, so I recommend the 7.0 one here. For OS distribution, obviously we're going to use the Ubuntu one, and the latest version 24.04. Zabbix component, we are going to install the whole package, and that is going to be the server, frontend, and I would recommend the new agent, so the agent 2. For database and web server, it doesn't matter too much. I will go with MySQL and Nginx because I'm most familiar with those options. And what this option does is that it will adjust these scripts that we get from the install page. So for example, if I choose 6 here, it will change some in the scripts. I will change back to 7 here, of course. Alright, first we need to install the Zabbix repository. So we will copy this first command here and paste it. I will hit enter. There we go, we got the repository. Now let's install it. Let's paste it in. And we need sudo to do this, so I will go sudo s, put my password, so we have root privileges while doing this. Let's try again. There we go. And then it wants us to do an apt update. So why not to update this repository? Next up, we are on 2b. It says install Zabbix server, frontend, and agent 2. So we will copy this command, and here we can see it will install the MySQL part, the frontend PHP part. We will actually get Nginx web server config, and also some SQL and actual agents. So let's copy this. Let's paste it in, hit enter. Y to confirm. The next step is about installing Zabbix agent 2 plugins. So this is not mandatory. This is if you are going to monitor MongoDB, MS SQL, or PostgreSQL. So it's not running these different systems, it's actually monitoring them. I will not do that in this demo, so I will skip this C part here, and let's go on to create the database. Here we can see that it lists a lot of MySQL commands, but it doesn't show us how to install MySQL. So this is for if you already have MySQL installed, but I will show you how to do it. Let's go to the terminal, and here you will go apt install mysql-server and hit enter. Hit Y to confirm. And now this will install the MySQL database for us. It's not a large installation, and after this is done, it's best practice to also do a minor secure of it. So we will go MySQL_secure. We can hit tab here and it will fill out secure installation. Let's hit enter. Password validation, sure, let's go with Y. And here we can choose the policy strength. I will go with low for this demo. Remove anonymous users, yes please. Disallow root login remotely, yes. Remove test database. Yes, we don't need a test database for this. This is a Zabbix video, not a database video. And reload privileged tables now. Yes. All done. Okay, so we have the MySQL all set up. And now we need to do the Zabbix part of the SQL. So here we will just go to the SQL prompt by typing MySQL. And the uroot p is about user, but if we type status, we should see that we are logged in as the root. So current user root. And by that, there is no password associated. So we can do all the commands just by copying. So by here, we go with the first row, create database. Let's paste that with a UTF character set. Next one, we would create the Zabbix user, copy, and here we can see the password. It's not gonna be password. Let's go instead with maybe Zabbix 123 exclamation mark. Hit enter, that's okay. Now grant all privileges. So I will copy that to the user that we just did. That's okay. Here we are setting an options for trust function. I will copy that, paste it, and then we can quit. Next up, we will import the schema and data. So let's copy this row here. Make sure you are not in the MySQL prompt, but in the ordinary shell. Hit paste, hit enter, and the password that we just created. After that command is run, it wants us to disable this trust function again. So now we will go back into the MySQL prompt and set this global trust function creators to 0. So we'll copy this row here, paste, hit enter, and exit out of the MySQL prompt. Now it's time to configure the database password. So we will go with, for example, nano. We can copy this path right here. So I will copy that, hit paste, hit enter, and we are now in the Zabbix server config file. If we hit Ctrl W, we can search, and let's search for DB PA. We should hit the DB password. We can see that it is commented out. And here is the DB password. So let's remove that comment. DB password. Let's set the password that we created. Like that. Hit Ctrl S, Ctrl X to save and exit. Now it wants us to start the server. That should be the last thing to do. And here we can see that it wants us to start the server, the agent, Nginx, and the front end. But we need to do the config for the Nginx. And that is because we have something called sites available and sites enabled in Nginx. And now by default, there are only one site, and that is the default site. If we go to local host, our own server, and hit enter, we can see that, okay, we land on the Nginx site. We can check that by going into the directory etc Nginx sites enabled, and if we list the contents here, you can see a symlink going to the default site. What we want to do is to remove this default site. So I will remove default, and I will create instead a link from the Zabbix config file to this folder. So that is ln-s and the config file, it's stored in etc Zabbix Nginx conf. And we want to put it in this folder, and we can call it just Zabbix. Release the content again. We can see now we have a symlink going to Zabbix from the Nginx conf that was in the etc Zabbix Nginx conf. Best practice after doing this in Nginx is doing nginx-t, and it will scan the config for any errors. But here we can see config file test is successful. Now let's restart. So systemctl restart Nginx. So we are restarting the web server part here. And now we can do the last commands here. So we restart all these modules and we enable them. And enable in Ubuntu is, if you're familiar with Windows environments, that is putting them on auto start after the server reboots. So we will enable them. Now it's time to check if our frontend web page is up. So here on the local host, let's give it a refresh. And yeah, lucky us, here we can see the Zabbix 7.0 welcome screen. So we will go with default language English. There's not much else for us to choose from because they're not installed. We will go with next step. Here it's checking some prerequisites. We got green OK on everything. So we can go to the next step and configure database connection. Please create database manually. We have done that. So the only thing we need to do is to fill in the password that we created. Go with the next step. Zabbix server name. So this is a name you can make up. Doesn't matter too much for now. I will go with Zabbix server 1. Maybe you have many different servers. And fill in your time zone. Believe it or not, I am in Sweden, so I will choose my time zone, hit next. A bit of a summary, hit next, and finish. The default admin account is admin, and the default password is Zabbix in all lower cases. Hit sign in. There you have it, a full step-by-step guide how to install your Zabbix server on Ubuntu. Like and subscribe and hit me up in the comments if you would like some videos about how to configure Zabbix now when we have it installed. See ya guys, bye bye.